Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone, and welcome to our presentation. As presenter number 1, my name is Siti Numaira binti Aziz. First of all, let me thank you all for coming here today. In our presentation, I focus on the major issue. So, I like to raise briefly the issue of diabetes in Malaysia. So, I would like to talk about introduction of diabetes. As you know, diabetes is chronic metabolic disease characterized by elevated level and blood glucose. Many caused by diabetes, including lifestyle factor and genes. And diabetes is a major causes of blindness, kidney fail, headache, stroke, and lower limb amputation. Based on the slide, diagram 1 is show of prevalence diabetes in Malaysia. So, the data analysis for line graph. So, the introduction of line graph is the line chart above show prevalence of diabetes in Malaysia from 1960 to 206. The total number of percentage is 31.5%. So two features of line graph is in 1960 with percentage of prevalence of diabetes in Malaysia is 2.0% and 1986 with 6.3% and 1996 with 8.3% and 2006 with 40.9%, and the line graph prevalence of diabetes in Malaysia is upward movement. For comparison in the line graph, firstly from 1986 to 1996 increased slightly 2% because of the increase in years, and second increased sharply between 1960 to 206 because many people have diabetes, and lastly from 1996 to 203 increased substantially 6.6% because many people suffer from diabetes at various age. And so for the conclusion on the line graph is diabetes a slow killer with no curable treatment. However, its complication can be reduced through proper awareness and timely treatment. So, diagram 2 is show type of diabetes in Malaysia. So next, data analysis for pie chart. Firstly, introduction. The chart above show types of diabetes in Malaysia. The survey aim investigate factor diabetes in Malaysia. Two features of data analysis pie chart is type 1 diabetes with percentage 8%, type 2 diabetes with percentage 18%, LADA with percentage 11%, and genetic with percentage 1%. Next, more than of people have diabetes in type 2 with percentage 18%. So, three comparison of the pie chart is the percentage of LADA slightly over with percentage 11%, then the genetic types with percentage 1%. Next, around 18% of people have stage 2 diabetes, which can affect the health. Less than 1% people suffer from diabetes due to genetic factors. And conclusion for the data analysis pie chart is diabetes is a serious life-threatening disease and must be constantly monitored and effectively subdued with proper medication and by adapting to a healthy lifestyle. By following a healthy lifestyle, regular checkup, and proper medication, we can observe a healthy and long time.
Hi, my name is Nur Ramadhan Lamzul Kipni, matrix number 17-21F1041. Today, I will explain about the prevalence of diabetes mellitus in Malaysia by state. Based on this bar graph, this data sources is taken from the Malaysian National Health Survey 3 2006. Introduction for this graph. The graph shows national prevalence of diabetes mellitus in Malaysia by states. The total number of people involved in the survey was 34,539 respondents of age 18 years and above in all states of Malaysia. Two features in this graph is it can be clearly seen that the prevalence of diabetes mellitus in Sabah is 4.9%, Labuan 7.9%, Sarawak 10%, Johor and Terengganu 11.1%, Kelantan 11.7%, Selangor 12%, Pahang 12.1%, Kuala Lumpur and Perak 12.6%, Perlis 13.5%, Kedah 13.6%, Penang 14.6%, Melaka 15.2%, and the last one is Negeri Sembilan 15.3%. There is significant difference for the lowest type of diabetes in Sabah Genetic for 4.9%, and the highest in the states of Negeri Sembilan 15.3%. In summary for this graph, it can be clearly seen that the public has a prevalence of diabetes mellitus in Sabah of only 4.9%, which is much lower than in Labuan, which is 7.9%. Second, the prevalence of diabetes mellitus in Pahang is 12.1%, higher than in Selangor, which is only 12%. Third, the number of people with diabetes mellitus in Sarawak is 10%, slightly higher than in Labuan, which is only 7.9%. For conclusion, it can be concluded that the state with the highest prevalence of diabetes mellitus is Negeri Sembilan, and the least state in Sarawak for the national prevalence of diabetes mellitus in Malaysia by states. I will explain about the diabetes trend from 2011 to 2019 in Malaysia based on this line graph. The data sources is taken from the National Healthy and Morbidity Survey 2019. Introduction for this topic, the line graph shows the diabetes trend from 2011 to 2019 in Malaysia. To features in this graph, it can be clearly seen that the number of people diagnosed with diabetes in Malaysia in 2011 was 7.2%. In 2015, it was 8.3%. In 2019, it was 9.5%. And number of people did know they have diabetes in 2011 was 4.0%. 2015 is 5.1%, and in 2019 is 8.9%. Second, it can be seen that the higher year that people have been diagnosed and people did know they have diabetes in Malaysia is 2019, and lower year is 2011. Three summaries in this graph is from 2011 to 2015, the number of people diagnosed with diabetes in Malaysia increased slightly from 7.2% to 8.3% of people. For people didn't know that they had diabetes in Malaysia is also increased slightly from 4.0% to 5.1% of people from 2011 to 2015. From 2015 to 2019, the number of people diagnosed with diabetes in Malaysia upward from 8.3% to 9.4% of people. In conclusion, it can be concluded that the percentage of people who have become the prevalence of diabetes increased throughout the year in Malaysia from 2011 to 2019.
My name is Nuriyana binti Shahrul Nazrin. My matric number is 70-31L1033. Me as presenter number 3. Firstly, the bar graph shows that the distribution of T2DM patient according to age at diagnosis. Two figures from the bar graph. Firstly, the mean age at diagnosis of T2DM patient registered in NDR was 53 years. There were more female than males with diabetes in all states except Wilayah Putrajaya. The mean age T2DM patient ranged between 85 to 65 years. Second, most of the registered patients in NDR were diagnosed with diabetes between the age group of 50 to 54 years old, followed by 55 to 59 years and 45 to 49 years age group. Three summaries that I have got from the bar graph. Firstly, it was found that the data from the graph show that diabetic patients who are less than 18 years old higher than those aged 18 to 19. Second, the number of diabetic patients at the age of 90 to 94 is lower than at the age of 55 to 59. Lastly, it can clearly be seen that at the age of 25 to 29, not too many people suffer from diabetes. In conclusion, on the whole, diabetes patients are highest at the average age of 50 to 54, then the lowest average patient is at the age 18 to 19. So the second graph is the graph line. Firstly, the graph line shows that the prevalence of diabetes 18 years by age group in 3 years, which is 1969, 2009, and 2011. Further that I have got from the graph is firstly, it can be seen clearly that the prevalence of diabetes in year 2011 is higher than other years. Second, it can be seen clearly that the prevalence in year 1969 is lowest patient. The summary that I have got from the bar graph, firstly, at the age of 18 to 19, there are only a few diabetic patients every year. But in 1969, 90s. In conclusion, from the investigation, it was found that in the year 1996, there were not too many diabetic patients, but it started to increase from 2009 to 2011. It is possible that it is due to the diet that is too high in sugar.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Nur Aisyah binti Muhammad Fauzi as a presenter 4 and my metric number is 17-21F1045. My present is about bar graph, which is from source Ministry of Health Malaysia. Introduction. The title about this bar graph is a burden of diabetes in Malaysia according to the trends and projection study from the age of 80 years and above. Two features in this bar graph is estimate population 2006 in 2019 are 3 million, estimate population in percentage 15%, and estimate population 2000 increasing from 2006 until 2022. Three comparisons that we can conclude in this bar graph is first, estimate population 2006 in 2020, which is 3,200,000 in percentage 60%, considerably higher than estimate population 2006 in 2006 that show only 1,700,000 in a percentage 7%. And the second, for the comparisons, the number of estimate population 2006 in 2009, which is 2 million in percentage 10%, a little lower than estimate population 2006 in 2010 that showed 2,200,000 in percentage 2%. And the last comparisons is estimate population 2006 in year 2008 that show number of estimate population in 2,400,000 in percentage 9%, dramatically lower than estimate population 2006 in 2080 that show the number of the estimate population is 2,900,000 in percentage 40%. And the conclusion from the Ministry of Health Malaysia, now the current project of this prevalence in Malaysia still higher with the 15 percentage following 500 million population that have diabetes must have to prevent and people must take serious about it. Next, it's pie chart. This pie chart is from source WHO. The data analysis for this pie chart, introduction, showing that about compilation of diabetes, which has a percentage of each compilations that have been specified. For example, respiratory compilations, circulatory compilations, diabetic neuropathy, infection, septic shocks, and diagnosed diabetes mellitus, also hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia. Two features in this pie chart is there are 8 types of compilation of diabetes in the pie chart, and compilation of diabetes which is secretory compilation have a high value than other. 3 comparisons that we can make in this pie chart is first around 25.68% of the people that have compilation of diabetes with secretory complications. And the second for these comparisons is the compilation of hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia exactly same, which percentage are 4.05%. And the last comparisons that we can analysis is the percentage of infection septic tank slightly over with percentage 20.27%, then the compilation of undiagnosed diabetes mellitus with percentage 8.11%. And the conclusion is it continues to be important for diabetic patients to manage their disease and be aware of the complications. The diagnosed graph can help illuminate health problems faced by many patients and what might be the best course of disease management. Not managing complications, especially for fast progressors, can cause rapid development of uncontrolled diabetes from which it is hard to recover. And lastly, conclusion, according to the WHO Global Report, the rate of adults affected by diabetes has quadrupled. And the last for the conclusion, for whole graph is according to the WHO Global Report, the rate of adults affected by diabetes has quadrupled since 2080. And second, diabetes meal plans need to be individualized, control goals, needs, and preference. And lastly, yearly detection and recognition of metabolic complications is vital for full recovery. That's it. Thank you for the listening.